It is Wednesday, May 4th at 6 p.m., and you must be watching the Lenox Selectboard meeting in Town Hall at the Town of Lenox. This is our 6 p.m. regular meeting. Announcements from the chair. I have no announcements except to say we hope to see everyone tomorrow evening at Lenox Memorial Middle and High School at the annual town meeting. It will start at 7 p.m. It's great to get there a little early because everyone has to get a clicker. We're going to be using the clickers again this year. So you'll have to do that and give everyone, your street address and who you are. So if you can start to come by 6:30, that would really help us out so we can start the meeting on time and get through the meeting in a timely fashion. We look forward to seeing you all there. So first, I will entertain an acceptance of the minutes from April 20th and April 25th.
Madam Chair, I would make a motion to accept the minutes from April 20th, and what was the second date?
The 25th.
25th. Sorry.
Great. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain?
Abstain? And, okay, we've got 4 yeses and 1 abstention. Terrific. Moving on to Citizens Open Forum. Do we have anyone this evening that would like to address the board? Seeing none, we will move on to the consent agenda. For this evening's consent agenda, we have a donations acceptance. Fire Chief O'Brien is seeking approval to accept various donations made to the fire department. We have a Board of Registrar appointment. The town clerk is recommending us appoint Jess Cote to the Board of Registrars, replacing Jan Durfee, who resigned. We have a sandwich board sign request. Attorney Jeff Lynch has submitted a sandwich board application on behalf of Shots Cafe. Thank you very much. This is an application that was submitted last summer, and I see Mr. Lynch is here tonight to discuss this. We have a request for a one-day wine and malt license from Lori Pestana. She's seeking a one-day license for Saturday, May 14th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Undermountain Farm for the celebration of a 30th birthday of a lesson horse. Absolutely, thank you. And second, we have a one-day wine and malt license from John Simons and Scott Short. They're seeking 2 one-day wine and malt licenses for open houses at rental properties located at 26 Church Street and 21 Housatonic Street. Currently, they are not TIPS certified, but they have stated that they will be prior to this event. We are going to be putting a hold on that one also?
I can hold that, yeah.
Perfect. So we will approve the consent. I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda, or do we want to go through the holds first and then approve the consent agenda?
Usually.
Why don't we make a motion and then, subject to holds, and then we'll discuss the holds?
Right.
Super, okay.
If you don't mind me retroactively adding a brief hold to numbers 1 and 2, I'm a little out of practice.
Sure.
So, Madam Chair, I would make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented, subject to discussion of the holds.
Sorry.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. It passes unanimously. So the donations acceptance from Fire Chief O'Brien is several donations in memory of James Herrick, who passed away earlier this calendar year. There was a significant amount of funds that were donated to the fire department. I'm sure Chief Chris O'Brien is very pleased with this. Jim Herrick was a terrific guy, a real warm person, did an awful lot for the community with regard to the basketball program and the Lenox Youth Basketball Association. Just a tremendous person.
Well, you stole my thunder, so to speak.
Sorry.
Thank you. That's exactly, I just wanted to recognize Mr. Herrick and express the gratitude of the police department and the town for such generous donations.
Excellent. And the Board of Registrar appointment?
Simply there, I wanted to thank Jess. We value Jess very highly, and it's wonderful that she is stepping up to fill a role that's not easy to fill and not always, well, I won't say anything. It's can be tedious, but it's wonderful that she has stepped up, and I thank her.
Yeah, she's going to do a great job assisting tomorrow night with the clickers. That's going to be very, very helpful for us. Now, the sandwich board sign request. Attorney Lynch, if you'd like to just address that.
Sure. Jeff Lynch, representing Shots Cafe. Thank you for hearing the application today. Shots Cafe, as you know, is located on the corner of Church and Housatonic. 27D Housatonic Street is the address. They've had a sandwich board in the past. My understanding is that the owner had laid out a proposed location for that sandwich board site, and there were some questions about its location and whether it would potentially interfere with some pedestrian traffic. So I just wanted to sort of have a discussion of that, and looking at the rules for sandwich boards, the applicant is supposed to keep about a 4-foot space for pedestrian traffic. When I looked in that area, there appears to be ample space for the sandwich board sign. I have a picture of two sort of thoughts on it that if I could, I just sort of pass them around. And you'll see there's in the foreground of the picture, there's a manhole cover, and that would be probably an adequate location, I think, would be outside of traffic. And just behind that, you'll see that there's a concrete pad. And so either one of those would also be acceptable to the owner of Shots Cafe. I think they both leave the majority of the sidewalk clear for pedestrian traffic and would give adequate visibility for the intent of having the sign.
Is this the stop sign, Jeff?
That is the stop sign.
And so this
So
is...
either that,
So this is rounding the corner, and
that is rounding the corner.
which area is the
So
sandwich
either
board?
the manhole cover right in the foreground would be primary,
Okay.
or that cement pad. Nope.
Oh, this
Right
one,
there,
right there,
yeah.
the cement pad. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking that cement pad makes more sense.
I second that. Shots is a wonderful operation, and we value their business very highly. And I guess it's both their good fortune and to some degree misfortune that they're on one of the busiest little corners of our
Yeah.
walking area. And through no fault of their own, pedestrians seem to wander that particular area in all directions.
Stop and congregate. Wondering which way to go.
Cross the road diagonally, you name it, as I'm sure you're aware. So, I'm supportive of the request, but to the extent that they could make use of that concrete pad, it gives us a little bit more sort of intent to show the sidewalk is the sidewalk. And I think those that are there to, police happen to be passing by or what have you, can at least try to reinforce to pedestrians, please not the road, please not, So I'd be inclined to state a preference for the concrete pad.
Yeah, definitely, because I believe that they have a table, a chair, table, chair, table, chair, and this is the
Yeah,
rail
that would be the patio area right to
Yeah.
towards the storefront.
And then they have another small table and chair right in front of that railing, so I really don't think that's a good spot. The pad looks like it's the best spot.
Personally, I'm a little reluctant to sign off on it without knowing a little more information. They need a little latitude, I get that, because of the unique place they have, where that sign's gotta be. It may not fit exactly in the bylaw, but we gotta work with them, get that. What bothers me is, we don't know, they're gonna go back to 3 tables out there, Jeff? That's what they have a permit for, correct?
Yeah, that's what they have their existing permit for.
Okay, now, I'd almost like to, I'm not looking for something to do, but I'd like to go over there and actually talk to her and him and say, because they put planters out there, they put a bowl for dogs to drink out of, there's a lot of things around there other than the sign, and plus all the people. So I'd like to really nail it down where things are gonna be.
I agree
Because
with
it's,
you.
we all know, I
Yeah.
mean, we know that's a tough spot, and it's a great little restaurant, and we wanna help them as much as we can, but, we have to look after the
safety,
traffic flow.
yeah.
So I'd like to really nail that down, exactly what their plan is for the summer.
I think they're trying to take it in some steps here. Respectfully with the way that the sandwich board ordinance is written right now, the regulation, it says keep 4 feet of space. When I look at what their space is, and I have a plot plan because that building was just purchased, they have almost 16 feet running from the edge of the building to Housatonic Street, and where there's the turnout. And where they had proposed putting it met the letter of the law, and obviously I'm recognizing the board's discretion. But when the safety issue comes in, it's really in the purview of the building inspector, right in the bylaw, to be able to sort of withdraw that. I think where we're at least proposing right now with the pad, it's outside of where anybody should be walking, can be walking, because it's sort of in landscaped area. It's outside where any of their tables will ever be set up with it, and this sort of just gets them to the next stage of, I know they have to do an outdoor dining permit again, which, I think would be a better time to sort of encompass where everything is located. But they're just trying to get ready for the spring season, and this would sort of be the first step in it. And I think really, if you look around where the other sandwich boards are in town, there's really no good spot for a sandwich board. I represent a whole bunch of the other restaurants, and recognizing that they all have them, and it's sort of a jostle. People are on phones these days, they're walking. I completely understand with that corner, but I think at least here, where it's proposed is outside of the normal traffic line of anybody. So I would ask that you grant this application without sort of further discussions and plan applications. I think the second proposal that's presented here addresses it. It will be outside of safety. If it's found by the building inspector not to be, they have the authority to order the immediate removal of the sign.
Jeff, and I don't mean to single out shots here, this happens at many of the establishments. I think we look at plot plans or diagrams and say to ourselves, well, we meet the requirements, the setbacks are ample,
Right.
if not meeting the minimum, and that all seems well and good. I think in practice, what I've seen on busy weekdays and particularly weekends is what I'll call table creep, sandwich board creep, people creep. A party of 5 arrives and they decide, we're gonna sit at this table and we're gonna swing it out here a little bit, we'll put the stroller over here. And,
Yeah, oh yeah.
things just get kind of jumbled around, and certainly in the past couple of years, it's not like our establishments have been so well-staffed that they have someone out there always to be right on top of, this is where things stay, and, put things back. It's all they can do to keep up with serving their customers and whatnot. I'm asking out loud to anybody that has an idea, do we want to have a provision that, I'm assuming people are concerned with theft and or weather damage, so they're taking them in each day? Because otherwise, could there be a method of locking them down, chaining them down or something, so that we don't get that creep that happens out into the sidewalk?
You mean chairs and things, or?
Well, that I can
I
understand
know
would be
what
harder
you're
to
saying,
do.
but what are you saying to?
That's why I said I'm open to ideas. Because I don't think we ever look at plans that look untenable. It's just that in practice, what happens is the crowd starts moving their tables around on their
Right.
own.
Yes.
And Jeff's right, it's up to the building inspector to enforce the rules. Well, the building inspector ain't around on a Saturday afternoon. That's not really a good answer, I don't think. I'd like to.
But we're only asking for the sign. There's no outdoor dining in front of the board right now. The sign is in a fixed location. If you were to approve that pad, under the regulation, all signs have to be brought in. when not during business hours, were outside of where any tables or chairs are. If you look at that picture and you walk by, you couldn't possibly move a chair to that. It's a bit of an angle. You'd be sitting in wood chips. I don't see that the creep would go that way. The creep of any table or chairs would certainly move towards Housatonic Street where it's
Yeah.
level, not down the hill towards Church Street.
I think we're okay.
Well,
For the sign alone.
We're probably okay
standpoint.
for the sign alone, and you probably maybe can't answer this question, and it really doesn't need to be answered. But is there gonna be some kind of a request from the occupants as to changing the outdoor dining that they're gonna do?
I have an
And you may
outdoor,
not, you-
I have an outdoor dining application in this page. It's not done yet. So
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
we will be in front of the board, I think, asking for permission for outdoor dining.
I think that's when we get to.
That's when we
So
can
that's
address
when
that.
We're gonna have
Yeah.
to address everything else. Sure.
Well, there was outdoor dining this weekend there.
I,
That was
Don't
only in the 3 tables that
Yeah.
are currently allowed. There were 3 tables
so
out, but just 3 small ones.
Your application to come before us in the future encompasses more tables?
it
than
might
the
be
3?
expansion of it, and that's why it's not ready to be put forth in front of the board.
Okay.
That's still under discussion. And I guess just to reiterate, as the board already knows, obviously outdoor dining, even on a small scale, is imperative to the small businesses. And unfortunately, it looks like we have another season of COVID affecting indoor dining fastly approaching us. So just to keep that cognizant in everybody's sort of thought process as we sort of critically look at what is to come for the town with outdoor dining. I think all of the restaurants have benefited from the ability to expand their service areas because there are just such a great amount of people that are just not comfortable being indoors anymore.
That is true, and the governor has extended it for a period of time, so I'm sure we're gonna be looking at not just your pending application, but there will be other applications coming in from other restaurants, so I personally, I think that putting the sign on that concrete pad is probably the best location, and that we could approve that
I
with
think
the
it's all
knowledge that there's something else coming,
I think that's all we're being asked
yeah.
to do today. And I think the approval is subject to using the concrete pad as opposed to the manhole.
Absolutely,
Yeah, I'm with that, yeah.
okay,
I'm good.
great, okay, sounds good,
Thank you all for the discussion. I really
Thanks,
appreciate it.
Jeff.
sure. Thank you.
Nice seeing your dad the other day.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, it was good
My
for you
classmate.
guys to see each other.
Yeah, it was.
Certainly.
So we had a hold on the one-day wine and malt license request for Lori Pastana at Under Mountain Farm for the 30th birthday of the lesson horse.
I gotta hear this one.
No, the only problem, the only issue I have with it is we want to be consistent in all our rules, and we don't have a tip certified bartender. Other than that, I think it's a great, fine, go do it. I'm all cool with that, that's fine.
But they should be able to get one.
Well,
They
I mean,
should.
we will not approve it until they bring in the tip
Yeah.
certificate, the tip
Make it
certificate.
subject to-
Contingent
Right.
on
Yeah,
that,
can we do a contingent approval based on,
Yes, yeah, I think so.
Oh, I thought you had something about the horse.
No,
Yeah, those horses, there are a lot of problems in
Maybe you had a
town.
lot, big investment in it.
okay.
No, not at all. I wish them the best of luck with it, and, it's a great place. My granddaughter's been down there riding and stuff, I'm all fine with that. I just want to keep consistent with all our
That's
rules.
good catch, yeah, I agree.
Great, and the same thing applies to the 2 one-day wine and malt license for the other petitioner, for John Simmons and, or Simons, I'm not sure if it's, I guess it's Simmons. John Simmons and Scott Short. They also do not have a tip certificate, but it says that they will be by the date, which is May 12th. And again, I would just notify them that we will not approve it. It's a conditional approval, but they've got to bring in the tips certificates for both of those locations, for 2 bartenders.
Yep, agreed.
Okay, terrific. Sound good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Great, okay. So that is all conditionally approved.
I think we need a
We
motion.
need a motion.
Oh, okay. I would entertain a motion for the conditional approval of those
The last two.
1 day and 2 day, and 1 day and 2 1-day wine and malt licenses.
So Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve conditionally upon demonstration that tips certified bartenders will be present for both the 1-day wine and malt license request for Undermountain Farm and the 2 1-day wine and malt license requests for downtown upstairs.
Sorry.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Excellent, thank you, that passes unanimously. And on to general business. The annual town meeting is tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock in Lenox Memorial Middle and High School. We have a copy of the meeting motions and the entire packet of warrants in this packet, and I guess we just want to go through one more time. Are there any changes, Mr. Ketchen?
None to, it is basically the motions, or it's the warrant articles that you approved last week in the form of a votable motion.
Okay, terrific. Shall we go back through and decide what the order's gonna be again, for who's doing what?
It's all written here.
Okay. Oh, it's all in there. Well, that's fantastic. Look at that. I
Oh,
didn't,
you've got names, okay, I don't have the
Alrighty.
names version.
yep, names version. Okay,
It's in the
so
packet.
I'll be doing the first one. Dave is doing the second one. Bob Vaughn will be doing the school appropriation. Ed will be doing Article 4. Ed will be doing Article 5. Warren will do Article 6. Dave is down to do Article 7. Tom Delasco will cover Article 8 for CPC. I will cover Article 9, or actually, that's open.
9 is also CPC.
Oh, 9 is also CPC? Okay, I didn't know.
We reordered. So
We are, okay, great. Dave is down for Article 10 and Article 11. And I am down for Article 12. Wow, we lost some articles there. And then,
So then there's 2 citizen petitions which will be moved by either the lead or other proponent of the petition article. Article 15 would then just
the
be
vote.
notice of the election, so there's no motion there.
okay. Great. Alrighty. Sensational. Great. So does anybody have any liaison reports or discussion points?
I just, I want to get this right, so just give me a second.
Sure.
So, the farmer's market this year from the chamber, the farmer's market's going to be located at 80 Church Street, formerly Cafe Lucia. And the car show, which is, I think, June 18th, is going to be in the parking lot behind the bank on Main Street.
Which
That's-
bank?
Well, thank you, it would be Berkshire Bank.
Okay,
The
thank you.
Our municipal lot.
Got you, okay.
Okay. So, those are 2 changes and 2 announcements that Jen wanted me to get out. I worked with her on the car show. As a matter of fact, the veterans are going to assist in that effort. And,
And that's the weekend of June 18th and 19th? Okay.
yeah,
That's Father's Day weekend.
well, it's a good way to spend Father's
There
Day.
you go.
It's a one-day event.
Yes.
It is,
Yeah.
it's a Saturday.
Okay.
So, and then again, they were looking diligently for a place for the farmer's market, and they found a private property, which, this is an announcement, not asking permission, obviously. So, we'll see how it works out. I think it'll work out well. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, loading and unloading will be the only concern, and because they're shifting the farmer's market to 11 to 3 instead of noon to 5, I think that's probably gonna help a great deal.
I think so. So thank you, Madam Chairman, that's all I had.
Okay, great. I'm just going to make a brief announcement that the Affordable Housing Trust awarded one of the 2 homes on Hines Street this past Monday. Unfortunately, there was only one application, and that applicant applied for one of the specific homes. They were the only name to draw, so we drew it. And the income eligible household is waiting for our attorney to draw up the purchase and sale agreement, but it's a household coming from Pittsfield, a 2-person household, and we're just very excited that we're able to turn over one of these homes. And so we will be undertaking a new marketing effort for the other home. We will probably reduce the price. Also, the Department of Housing and Urban Development has recently released new income limits for the current calendar year for April 2022 through the beginning of next year. And so that may provide an extra layer of people who may be income qualified. So we're working with our marketing person, Construct, and Habitat for Humanity. They ran the affirmative fair marketing on this last go-around, and so they will be posting the information sessions and the marketing materials hopefully by the end of the month. So we'll be going through that again. But we're really thrilled that one of these homes will be turned over to an eligible household. So that's great.
All right, the one thing I have, and this is not, we shouldn't discuss it tonight, but it's Center School and the Children's Center, and the future of both, actually. There's been a lot of discussion, a lot of talk and everything, but nothing formal. And, it has to get formalized, and we have to make some decisions. They have to make some decisions. We need to work together to do whatever we have to do with that piece of property. The building is in rough shape. There's a whole bunch going on here.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think it warrants a discussion at this board level. But before that, I think we need to really have a good understanding with the Children's Center of what their wants and needs really are, where they stand. There's a lot of things. There hasn't been a lot of information like that we've had to deal with. Mary Beth's been doing a lot of work on her own. And, but we need some communication for us to have a good discussion. Mm-hmm. We talked about having a discussion tonight, but we just don't have the communication going that we need to get it going.
Right, it would be good to get a couple of members of their board that could come and sit down with members of our board, and we could really hash out how this is going to work.
Yeah.
And how to best serve the Lenox Children's Center, and how best to preserve the asset that is the center school.
Right.
So I would agree with that. I think it would be good for us to set some time.
2 discussions.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay, clearly, we want to preserve the asset. At least I'm in favor, and I had conversations with Ed and Warren individually, and both of them are in favor of saving the asset. I think you're right, Ed and Mary Beth, about bringing members of the school in here and chatting with them to see what their ultimate future plans are, and whether they fit into ours, and see where we go from there. But I'd like to hear from them what their plans are, as opposed from hearing it from somebody else in a letter or whatever. So invite them in and let's chat with them.
Sounds good. Sounds good. We'll set up a meeting and start down that road. That would be constructive for everyone, I think.
Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. So that appears to be everything we have, unless anyone has anything else. Otherwise, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, gentlemen.